not comfortable, and I can never give someone so much power over my happiness and my health. It Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Serious Hangout, where meaningful conversations meet faith inspired insights. Join us as we explore life's biggest questions, share personal stories, and dive right into topics that matter the most. From faith to purpose, relationships to personal growth, this is your safe space to explore, reflect, and grow together. Please subscribe, comment, and like. See you on the other side. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Serious Hangout. Where have I been? That's the question. I have been reflecting. That is what I've been doing. Yeah, I found myself thinking, what is it that the Serious Hangout really stands for? What is it I want to do with the Serious Hangout? And I needed to take time to reflect. I needed to just stop myself, and say, take time, take a week, take 2 weeks to just reflect and see what is that you want to achieve with this podcast. I did that. I think I took 2 3 weeks. I was hoping just for a week, but life happened and I took 3 weeks. Yeah. So I've really been reflecting, and I came to a conclusion that the Serious Hangout is a platform that helps people have faith inspired conversations. We help people find Christ. We help people, or we hope to inspire people to really do better and live better. We hope that through our conversations, we can inspire people to become their full self. So with the Serious Hangout, that is the direction we're taking now. We have decided that the platform is still going to be as it is. It is conversations with an everyday person that is relatable to the everyday person listening to it. However, it's going to be faith inspired conversations. So, conversations around God, conversations about your spiritual journey, conversations about your journey with Christ, conversations around how you want to build, what are the common mistakes we make, how do we need to change, and also just conversations about, you know, resilience. What is it that a Christian stands for? What conversations should you have? How do you address certain things? How should a Christian live? Yeah, so we're gonna try and really cover all topics, um, while just having conversations with different people. And I'm really hoping that through these conversations, you can be inspired, or you can work on this journey with me as I continue to learn, because I'm not perfect. I'm still learning on how to be a better Christian every day. I try and improve every day. I love this code where it's needle point movement. So it's taking small steps in the right direction every day, so that at when you look back 6 months, in 6 months time, all those mini steps that you have taken have compounded into something significant. So that's where I'm coming from, and I really hope that you hear my heart when I have these conversations with you. So this is the first episode in this direction, in the new direction of faith inspired conversations, and the topic is none other than, drumroll, necessary endings. So if I'm looking down, it's because I have a notebook and I have taken all the notes on my book so I don't get carried away. So let's start with defining what necessary is. Necessary is something that needs to happen. It's inevitable, it needs to happen, it's necessary for it to happen. Ending, I think it's self-explanatory, it's ending something, it's something that needs to stop, you need to put a full stop to it. Oh, yeah. So yeah, necessary endings. It refers to the deliberate and purposeful termination of certain relationship, projects, or activities that are no longer serving a positive purpose or contributing to growth and progress. These endings are deemed necessary because they create space for new opportunities of growth and healthier dynamics to emerge. In essence, they involve letting go of the old and or in order to make room for the new, which can lead to personal or organizational transformation and advancement. So, letting go of the old and making room for the new. That's so profound. Yeah. So letting go of the old means that you need to take time to reflect and say, what is it that I want to let go of and how do I let go of it? Because letting go is not easy. We all know it's not. It's not, you just don't wake up and, break up with your boyfriend or quit your job or, many, many things. I can give a laundry basket of examples. However, it needs to happen. If you need to quit your job and you're not satisfied or you're not healthy, your mental health is deteriorating because of your job, and you come to the conclusion that the best thing I can do for myself is to quit the job, I believe that you need to first consider certain things. Do you have enough emergency money, to pay your rent in advance if you are paying rent? Or just, can I survive if I don't have a job? Am I able to get around my life without this job? So you need to consider certain things. And in order to do that, you have to reflect. So you need to stop yourself and say, you know what? Let me take a breather and let me reflect on what it is that I want to do. What is it that I'm currently doing, and what is the step forward. Sometimes we do quit things, we do end things without knowing what is next, but we obviously need to take the necessary precautions when we do something like that, especially when it's detrimental. If you do decide to leave your job and you don't have another job lined up, or and you probably don't have support from family, you live on your own, you need to do the necessary steps, otherwise you'll be on the street, and we don't want that. Yeah. So yeah, so necessary endings. And I just read to you what necessary ending means to me. And yeah, quick question. How many of us are hoarders? How many of us have items, in our houses, and we're just like, we're not giving it away because this is sentimental? Yeah, and how many of us will never, you have things from, I don't know, your grandmother that died 25 years ago, and you're like, I'm not giving it away because it's just not going anywhere. Apart from physical hoarding, how many of us are hoarding feelings as well? How many of us have that trauma from childhood, that hurt from your first relationship, or that hurt from your aunt that said something that wasn't really sitting well with you? How many of us are hoarding emotions that still to this very date it chips from you, it takes from you? How many of us are really holding on to things that we know I either need to end it because no one else is gonna apologize for it? It's like waiting for that apology that you'll never get. How many of us are holding on to things just with the hopes that hopefully soon we will get that chance, or she will come apologize, or he would say sorry, or I'll find someone that will close that gap? How many of us? Yeah, you need to put an end to that. It's unfortunate that sometimes these endings do hurt. Sometimes it really takes courage. It takes a lot of strength from you to put an end to this and really say, you know what, from now onwards, I'm not holding these feelings. I'm not, yes, I'm hurt by what she said, but I'm not going to keep her captive only for me to suffer, you know? No, I'm not going to do that. So, how many of us are willing to say, you know what, I'm going to put an end to this? It's a necessary ending because it needs to end. Your health is deteriorating because of that, because you're constantly stressed, you're constantly holding so many things, so many people, advice, words that they said that didn't sit right with you, but you're just hoarding it and you're thinking, oh my goodness, maybe one day she'll come say sorry. And let me tell you what's funny. They might not even know that they hurt you, and you're waiting for the apology. So you're never going to get that apology. So we need to learn how to end things. We need to learn how to identify things that are detrimental to our health, detrimental to our finances, detrimental to just us, our spiritual life, in order for us to move over and say, you know what, I'm going with the new, it's out with the old. I don't want to be this angry person anymore. I want to move over and be a new person. I want to be happy. One thing about me is I don't hold grudges. I just think in as much as someone hurts you, if I hold a grudge, I give them power over who I am. I don't like being sad. So if I hold a grudge, if you hurt me and I hold a grudge, it just puts me in a disadvantaged position because now I'm stressed. When I see you, I'm just thinking, oh my goodness, look at her or look at him. And I'm just stressed. I'm constantly like not comfortable. And I can never give someone so much power over my happiness and my health. It cannot be. So it's decisions that you need to make. I'm not saying that it's easy. I'm not saying that I just don't hold grudges and I forget. You do remember that, oh, okay, this person hurt me in this way, but this is how I'm gonna thread when I'm around them. This person says these things that I'm uncomfortable with. Maybe I'm not gonna engage with them anymore, or when I'm around them, I'll rather keep quiet to keep my peace. Or next time I'll tell them what I think in order for them to know exactly where we stand. So you just need to take the necessary steps in order for you to live better, to have a healthy relationship with yourself, and not to suffer in vain, you know. You can't be suffering in vain just because you don't want to end something which is very much necessary and you keep holding on to this. So just like seasons, we can't have summer, winter, and spring and autumn in one day. I know if you live in a coastal town like Wolfish Bay, Cape Town, Brighton, you would know that most of those coastal towns you have like four weathers in a day, but I'm speaking about literally like you can't have all seasons in one day, you know. It ha- Summer has to end in order for the next season to start. Autumn has to end in order for the next season to start. Winter has to end in order for the next season to start. Leaves have to fall off in order for them to grow. It's just different things. Like it is something about life. We see it in nature. And as human beings, we have to adopt that. We have to say that this has to end in order for something new to start. So also when we look at necessary endings or endings and we're looking at what is to come, what are the opportunities out there, I think what is very frightening for most people is the unknown, not knowing that, okay, if I do leave this relationship, if I do follow Christ, what is going to happen? Are my friends still going to be my friends? If I do leave this job, am I going to get a job? If I do this one thing, what are the opportunities and what is the certainty that I am going to get the next thing? But that is where faith comes in. You know, faith is believing that He is able to do anything and everything. Faith is believing blindly. You know how we fall in love blindly and you're blindly in love? Faith is like that. So you believe blindly that God is going to see you through that season. God is going to make it easier for you. God, the same God that gave you the idea to end the season, is the same God that is going to create opportunity for you. The only thing He asks is that you call upon Him. He says very well that be still and know that I am God. Be still. Just keep quiet. Just shh, and know that I am God. I, the God who created you in your mother's womb. Before your mother knew you, I have created you already. So the same God who has that, the same God who is able to part the Red Sea when Moses was thinking, how are we going to get out? The same God that told Moses, go to Pharaoh and speak to the Israelites. When Moses was like, but God, me, those people are not going to listen to me. How? God said, go, because I am saying that. God puts things in place, even when you don't see it, even when you don't know it, even when it seems impossible, even when you think like, oh my goodness, like how can I do this? God puts things in place way before you even start thinking about it. I remember when I was in Namibia and I had to move to the UK for studying. I had to I had to think, okay, because at the time I was forced to quit my job, and I thought to myself, oh my goodness, like if I quit my job, what am I gonna come back to? Am I gonna go back to living with my parents? What is gonna happen? You know, what is gonna happen after the studying? Yes, it's brilliant, it's a brilliant opportunity, but what? But you know the but God, how? You know, and sometimes in the process of letting go of the old, We constantly say, but God, we have reasons, but it's not going to work. These people are going to judge me, but I'm going to be broke. But what if I study and I can't get a job? But, but God, but how? How do you expect me to just follow you blindly? Let's have some reasoning around this. We try and create that understanding. We try and have the understanding of what is to come always. We try and say, you know what? No, God just give me a sign that, okay, I'm going to study, but I am going to get a job. Give me some certainty. Give me some level of, um, you've got me. Let me see it. It's the same thing that happened to Moses when Moses said, God, but I want to see you. I want to see you. And God revealed himself through angels, that burning of the bush. And Moses still said, but this bush is burning and it's not burning out. How is this thing? So like, let me go see. And that's us. Exactly like Moses at the time. Let me go see what he has in store. While God is showing that I am the Alpha and the Omega. I know you very well. I know what is best for you. Whatever plans you have for yourself is nothing compared to what I have for you. And I think we are constantly trying to see, what does God have in place. We want to see the physical, or the receipts. Like, God, no, I need a receipt for this. If you're telling me to do this, give me a receipt for the next thing, so I know, okay, if I walk out of this, you're gonna give me. If I walk out of this abusive relationship, you will lead me into one that is healthy. Give me the receipt. Show me someone. God, if I walk out of this and I'm in my 30s, my 40s, that you will give me a man to marry, because we're idolizing marriage as a nation, as people. We're not even idolizing what marriage stands for. We're not idolizing to be a perfect husband to the wife, to be a submissive woman to your husband. We're idolizing the event. We're idolizing having a ring on your finger and being amongst the married people. We're idolizing saying that, oh my goodness, I had the best wedding. We're not idolizing what God says. This is it. Woman, men, this is what you need to stand for. When you go into this agreement, these are the characters that you need to have. We're not idolizing that. And that is so sad. So just to move on, John 15 verse 5 says, I am the vine and you are the branches. I am the vine and you are the branches. The vine is the root, where you get your strength from. The strength, the courage. I am the vine. So you need to draw from God in order to flourish, in order to grow, in order to bloom, in order to succeed. You need to draw from your vine, from your creator, in order to say, you know what, God, when I end this thing, you will give me the courage to move on to the next thing. God says, I am the vine in John 15, verse 5. It is so beautiful. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. If you remain in me and I in you, for as long as you believe in me and for as long as I'm part of you, for as long as you believe in me and you call upon my name, for as long as you believe in me and you say that I am your creator and you acknowledge me. Because what does God say? Have no other gods but me. For as long as you believe in me, you will bear fruits. It's a promise from God. He says it. He says, for as long as you believe in me, I will give you what you didn't think you needed. I will put you into places. I will put you around tables where you don't even have to speak, but people will speak for you. For as long, there's only one condition: for as long as you believe in me and I am in you. That is all. That's the condition. The condition is simple. Believe in me and let me be part of your life. That's all that God asks. Believe in me and let me be part of your life. Let me be part of your daily. When you say, I'm doing I'm going on a trip, just consult God. God, I'm going on this trip and I really want you to be with me. Go before me, protect me. For as long as you just include God in your plans. God, I'm running. Just protect me while I'm running, you know, or just be with me, God. God, I have ABCD. These are the business ventures that I want to, I want to explore. God, just be with every venture. If it fails, then I know it's not for me. Because the one thing is also we think that, okay, I prayed for this thing and I need to get it. No, God gives you what you deserve. God knows best. So you can't just pray for anything and receive everything. It doesn't work that way. Unfortunately, it doesn't. It's the same thing as applying to universities or applying for jobs. You keep applying, you're like, God, but I've been applying. But then you get that one job that really fits you and it just works out. And then you're like, oh God, now I understand. I got 10 rejections, I got that one yes, and this one yes is more than those 10 rejections. Maybe those 10 rejections had work conditions that are not favorable. Your manager wasn't gonna like you, they were gonna do something to you, whatever it is. God just knows best. So for as long as you believe in him, God is able to make you bear fruit, give you what you need, and lead you in the right direction. So without God, I think it is very evident that we are nothing. You're simply a soul roaming. And mind you, let us be reminded that we are all visitors on this earth and that our time will come to an end. And only then, you don't know whether you're dying while you're 2, 20, 30, or 60, or 80, or 100. You don't know. That we are very certain that we are going to die. So we are temporary visitors on this earth. And for as long as you're a Christian, you know that we all seek to be on the right hand side of God. On the right hand side, when He judges, when that day comes, you're like, yes, I've done my due diligence. I have helped. I have served you when I was on earth. Now, make me go into paradise. Don't you just want to be amongst the people that go into paradise? So Ecclesiastes 3 verse 1 to 8 says, there is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. It starts with a time to be born and a time to die. I haven't written down everything, but a time to plant and a time to uproot, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to be silent and a time to speak, a time to be born and a time to die. We all know that we come into this earth, we are born, and there's a time to die. We speak about a time to plant and a time to uproot. There's a time to say, you know what, I'm putting in the work, I'm doing this. But there's also time to say, you know what, it's an end of what I've been doing. It's time to move on. Some people start businesses and they don't start to have it forever. They start it, build it to a certain level, and then sell it off. And they know exactly when to sell it. They know why they're selling it. It's the same thing. It's a time to plant, to build it up, to start it, and a time to say, you know what, this is the end. Some people start journeys as content creators, saying that I want to start a journey as a lifestyle content creator. But later, as life goes and as you grow as a person, your vision might change and you might say, like, no, you know what, content creation is not for me. I want to be behind the cameras now. So there's always a time for starting something and ending something. There's a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. There's a time to be silent and a time to speak. So this means, you see, there's a time for this and there's a time for this. There's a time for one thing and then there's a time for another. And I think it just says there's a time to say, you know what, I was in this world where I praised social media, I praised people, I praised the worldly things that I thought would give me pleasure. But now, God, I want to work with you. I want to work with you. I want to do things according to your will. Because when you work with God, you just have some sort of peace that comes with you. There's just some sort of peace of mind that comes with you. Um, uh, a very recent example is I celebrated my 30th birthday. Yes, I'm on the third floor. Very excited. And the build up to the 30th celebration, I was really, really I was in between things. So I grew up celebrating every birthday. It has always been a thing. And my birthday celebrations have always been grand, if I can say that. That it's either I'm traveling or I'm with family, but it has always been something. And since moving to the UK, it hasn't really been according to the standards I've set myself. And with the 30th birthday, I was all over the place. My brain was, wow, I was all over the place. And I really had to take time back and say, you know what, maybe I'm idolizing this whole having people around. Maybe I am too invested in what am I gonna do? Am I gonna go on this trip? Maybe I should invite who? If this doesn't happen, this my birthday is not gonna be fulfilled and so forth. So the month of April, I've really been asking God, and I said, God, you know what? I just I know it's 30, and I know according to other people's standards, it's like it's your big 3-0. You need to do something. You need to do something grand. And I told myself that even if I'm home, God, even if I'm just in your presence, let me be fulfilled. Let that fulfill me, and let not being out and about fulfill me going forward as well. It I'm not saying that I'm not gonna celebrate it. If I do travel, it's a bonus, but the core, the foundation is that on that day, spending time with God is what is important. When we speak about necessary endings, sometimes it's so hard to let go of what has been to create room for the new, right? It is so difficult to revert back. We have heard countless people say, I tried. I left smoking for 6 months, but just one cigarette took me back. I've left smoking for 5 years. Just one cigarette took me back. It's so easy that a bad habit can get so addictive very easily. And it is recreating a wheel. Sometimes we want to end things, but we think that, let me just try this one thing. I want to be celibate, so I'm trying to abstain from sex. But then you go back, or you find yourself in a room with men, or you chat in a certain way, or you engage in a certain way. So you're not taking necessary precautions to not put yourself in that situation. So there are many things that one can really use to say that sometimes we recreate this wheel ourselves. Sometimes, and then we want to blame God. God, I really tried, but no, I just can't seem to move on from one thing. Maybe it's just my life. Maybe it's just my life to stay in this abusive relationship. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I should just be this person. Maybe I am supposed to be in poverty. I was born in poverty. God, I cannot recreate the way, I cannot move on. I have to just be in this poverty state. It is our family tradition. It is what it has always been. Do you think I would really break the cycle? It takes one person, one prayer warrior to break the cycle. It takes one person to break the cycle. Do not think that you're not able to change. Do not think that God cannot take you out of the wilderness. Do not think that God cannot part the Red Sea. Do not think that God cannot help you like he helped David. Do not think that you are you yourself when you don't have the strength. God also doesn't have the strength. Your strength is limited, but his is not. So therefore, you have to really think about things that take you back to not be able to end things. What is that thing? You say that you want to eat healthier, but why are you not eating healthier? Maybe it's because you have so many junk food in your house that the only thing when you're hungry is just chips laying around. It's just soda laying around. But you're saying that I don't want to eat sugar, or I don't want to eat junk food. So it's important to choose your friends as well. Who you acquaint yourself with is important, because those people really give you the tools to just navigate certain things. If you want to be a Christian, you want to go to church, then you will get at least 2 or 3 friends that go to church that will tell you, oh, you know what, Joyce, let's go. That will drag you along. you know if you want to have a summer body, you'll get a person that's also jogging and say, you know what, it's raining today, but let's go. We're together, we'll do this together. If you're struggling with finances, instead of saying, you know what, this is just my family cycle, we've always been poor, my great grandmother was poor. No, get a friend that is financially literate. She will tell you, oh, maybe do this, maybe put your money here, maybe do this, rather not spend on this, maybe wait. But we are so lazy, we don't have time. It's always, I don't have time, I'm so busy, life is so busy. But we don't take time to say, what is it that I need to end? What is it that is detrimental to my health, to my finances, to whatever area that I'm trying to grow? And what do I need to do? Who do I need to put in place? There's so many options out there in the world that can help you grow. There are places like LinkedIn where you can really connect with people, like-minded people. There are Bible apps. It's made so easy for us now to just connect with whoever you want to connect. So I don't think we have excuses. We should just learn to not recreate the wheel. If you really want to change and you want to change your path, then learn to not recreate the wheel. I know it's simpler said than done, but it takes courage. Anything that is worth having, it takes courage. School is not easy. It takes courage. You have to study every day. You have to read your books for exams. If you want to be a marathon runner, you have to train for it. Or nothing worth fighting for is easy. It doesn't come easy. So if you want to change, you really need to change your situation. You need to change your acquaintances. You need to change your network of people that you engage with in order for you to grow in the area that you're looking at growing. So also with necessary endings, like I mentioned, it's like seasons. You have to learn to know that one thing has to end in order for the next one to come. Winter and autumn cannot be at the same time, or winter and summer cannot be at the same time. It won't work. Imagine waking up and it's snowing, and then 5 minutes after that, the sun is shining, and 30 minutes later, it's snowing. It won't work. It just wouldn't work. So you need to learn that something needs to come to an end in order for something new to begin. We brace winter. It's cold, it's whatever. But we also know that, okay, I'm a summer person, so summer is gonna come and I'm gonna feel better. You start a business with someone, you probably had the same passion. But as time goes, you want out. You're like, I really can't be in this business anymore. It's not my thing anymore. You have to have that conversation, and it doesn't need to be bad. It doesn't need to be negative. It can be a positive conversation. It's a hard conversation, but it can end positively because you're genuinely saying that this is not what I want. And you're putting your interest first, but you're putting an end to something so that something new can happen. God has a system of seasons, and God knows when to uproot and when to plant. God knows when you need to be silent and when to speak. God knows when you need to back off and when you need to shine. I was listening to a podcast the other time, and the girl said, join this organization. I really wanted to be in front of the camera, but God just constantly putting me behind. The opportunities I got was just, behind, being the producer, being the light guy, being the what. But when the season came for me to come out and actually create my own podcast, God knew exactly the time that I needed to come out of this back, being in the back, So you have to trust the process. Trust the process, Trust that this too shall pass. If it is a hard season, if really you're not comprehending what God is doing, if really you're questioning and you're just like, I've been in this season for too long, you're job hunting and you're not finding a job, and you're like, but why? How can I still believe in God if everything is it's just not? Maybe you don't fully believe in God. Maybe do a reflection, maybe do some introspection and ask yourself, do you really believe in God? Because my God will take you through every season. My God that will see you through hurt, will see you through joy. My God, He never lets down. And my God, He stands firm and He says that, be still and know that I am God. And one Instagram post said something about, be still and know that I am God. But when you sit a little longer, it says, be still and know that I am. And then when you sit a little longer, it just says, be still. And then when you sit longer, it says, be. So just be. Just be in His presence. Just believe. Just be. Just take a moment and say, God, I trust you with everything. I'm in this season of job hunting and I feel like it's not coming to an end.
And I see my friends, the one is just getting a job after a job and after another. But God knows when He will elevate you. Have you seen people where you come out of school, the one is struggling to get jobs, and or the one got jobs, but just odd jobs, and you couldn't find a job, but the job you land just covers everything that the next person you're comparing yourself to did. The job you land or the opportunity you get is much grander, much bigger than all these people that you're looking out. You're looking out of the window and saying, "Oh my goodness, this person is doing this. God is blessing this one with marriage. God is blessing this one with kids. God is blessing this one with this. But why not me?" But God says, "I'll take you out of that season. That season too shall end." I firmly believe you can. It's you cannot be in one season your entire life unless you don't believe in God. But my God will take you through seasons. He will put you in and take you out. I remember when I was looking for funding, a scholarship for my PhD, and I was just like, God, but the rejections were just, it was mind blowing. It was just so many rejections that I said, God, what now? When I said, you know what, God, if this is what you want me to do, if this is going to serve you through my work, all I aim to do is to serve you. So if I'm an expert in my field, it is for the betterment of people because I'm serving you. Then God, grant me this thing. Make it easy for me. And I kid you not, that right after that, probably a month after that, I got a call and things just went fast and one thing led to another. And here I am, fully funded. And it is the way it happened, it is mind blowing. The people close to me that know how it happened, they're just like, how? How did you do that? How did this person just email you on this time and it just went, everything just fit. It was like a glove. Every email I sent just came back and it was just amazing. And this opportunity that I got is better than what I wanted. It is far better than what I wanted. It is mind blowing. It is, and this is just why I cannot not believe in God. And this is just why I cannot not give Him praise. Because I just think like I can never think that I can do all these things in my power. I don't even want to think that I have control over what happens in my life because God is so amazing that whatever He's giving me is like, I don't think about it. I just thought, okay, I just want to stand at scholarship, and what I got was just is amazing. So God is able to take you out of situations, but you have to let go. I had to let go of thinking that I'm able to find something for myself. I had to let go and just be like, you know what, God, I trust you. And I had to be in that month of trusting, believing, praying, still doing my search, but just saying, God, whatever comes from you. It's not because I think I can do it and because I think I can write the best proposal. No. It's because whatever proposal I sent out, whoever I speak to, it's because you have anointed it already. You have said yes already. I want your yes before I want human beings yes. I want you to go before me. So when that happened, I said, you know what, God, necessary endings is a thing. It's hard. It truly is hard. Sometimes because you're in the unknown. Does it happen? Will it happen? Will it not happen? What do I do next? But when you let go and let God, there's a peace that comes with it. And that peace surpasses all human understanding. It's a peace that says, you know what, even if it doesn't fall out, like my prayer was also like, if it doesn't come, make me understand, God, that this is not for me. Take it off my heart, even though I know I want it. But if it's not for me, do not give it to me, because I do not want anything that is not for me. That is not ordained by you, I do not want it. But if it is for me, grant it to me graciously, God. Grant it to me so well that I will sing praises to your name. By giving it to me or not, I'll still sing praises. But I know that it comes from you. Trust that God can really take you out of a season and trust that when you put an end to something, when you quit the job, when you make that commitment to say, I'm not going to be lazy, I'm going to eat healthier, when you make that commitment to say that I'm going to do better, I'm going to love myself, I'm going to practice self-love, I'm going to go to church in person, that when you make that decision to stop your old habits and to move into the new, that God really grants you that strength and courage to continue, and that He surrounds you with people that are able to pick you up when you can't pick yourself up, are able to surround you with people that when you go astray, he has people equipped to say, you know what, no, you took the detour. I think this is the right path. So pray for discernment, pray for God's grace upon your life, pray for God's presence in your life. Pray that you understand, or that you get some sort of fulfillment even when you don't understand. Pray that even when things don't make sense, that you're able to give fully to God and surrender your all to God. Pray that God really sees your heart, and pray that everything that comes to you comes from Him. Because remember, the enemy sends and plots as well. And we fall into those traps and think, oh, God gave it to me. Because sometimes we say, God, I really want a sign. And God gives you the sign, and you're like, no, I don't think that is God's sign. I want a sign, God. And then you look for the sign that you want, but not the sign that God has actually given you. You say, God, I want to get out of this abusive marriage. And then God gives you a sign that maybe your husband would do something to you, or he would say something, or he would trigger, or just something that is very evident that now is a point where you need to leave. But you still say, no, I don't think that is just him. You make excuses because you're so scared of giving up, of letting go, in order for you to find, because you're just like, what am I going to do? Where are the kids going to go? Who am I going to look to? And so forth. God already has your back. Having God as your backbone. Like saying that whatever may come, God has me. That is more amazing than having human beings. Because human beings can fail you. They have their own needs, own things to worry about. But imagine having God as saying that I'll take that leap of faith. I trust that God will do it. God will see me through it. Given that you have prayed, given that you have said to God, you've communicated to Him. I always say prayers should be very specific. When you say you want to buy a house, don't just say I want to buy a house. Say I want to buy a 5-story house or 5-bedroom house, 2 living rooms, what. This is what I want, God. In this area, I want this. Pray for what you want. Pray directly. God, I want to study. I want to study in South Africa. I want to study at the University of Cape Town, and so forth and so forth, because God, I just think this. Pray and be honest why. And even if you maybe get University of Joburg, you know that, okay, maybe Cape Town wasn't for me, but God still gave you South Africa. Even if He says, okay, I'm not going to give you South Africa, I'm giving you New Zealand. Maybe South Africa wasn't for you then. Maybe New Zealand will give you better opportunities. I always say, where I am now, when I look back 4 years ago, I would have never thought that I would be doing a YouTube channel. I never thought that I would be where I am. My network would be this big as it is now. I'll be in the institutions that I am, like that I'm actively in. Like what God has done just by obeying, by being obedient, is mind blowing. Because I had to leave. I had to leave my family. I had to put a stop to a lot of things, to say, you know what, I'm leaving. Even when things were shaking, even when I was like unsure, even when I came and I was shivering, and I doubted God, and I said, but God, how? But how? Where am I gonna go? How is it gonna happen? God said, be still and know that I'm God. And now that I've learned to trust God, it's so much easier. I wouldn't want it any other way. I wouldn't want my life any other way. Because whatever He says yes to, I would scream and say, yes, I go. Blindly, I follow. All He asks is that you come to Him and you say, God, lead me. God, take charge. God, show me the way. God, I am willing to follow you. He just says, follow me. Like he said in John 15 verse 5, he said, if you remain in me and I in you, you will bear fruit. So just remain in him, follow him, read his word, interact with him, speak to him. He wants to be your friend. So speak to him, engage with him, tell him your problems, tell him when you're happy, tell him that you're so happy, when you're worried, when you're anxious, tell him that I'm feeling this feeling and I don't think it comes from you, but help me, make sense of this. Whatever situation you find yourself in, just go to him, because for as long as you're in him, for as long as he is in you, you will bear fruits, which means you'll get understanding, you'll get wisdom, you'll have success. God will show you mercy. God will be gracious to you. So learn to trust that. And once you can trust that, the letting go part won't be that difficult, because you would know that this comes from God and God will see me through it. The letting go won't be that detrimental that you would feel that, oh my goodness, what am I going to do with myself after this? You would know that God will see you through it. So I pray that as you need to cut off people, as you need to quit the job, as you need to change your habits, and you're letting go of the old, whatever it may be, and you're moving into the new, allowing yourself to have those opportunities, the growth, transformation in any area that you're looking at, that God really grants you that understanding and wisdom and courage to give up the old and move into the new, but trust and believe in Him. That's all He asks. Just trust that I am God. Trust that I am the light in the darkness. Trust that I will see you through the valley. Trust that I will heal you like I healed Job. Trust, like David and Goliath, I'll give David the strength that when you looked at them, you just thought, how is David gonna beat Goliath? Trust. Just trust. And he says, trust as small as a mustard seed. Small. Have you seen a mustard seed? It's so small, like it's small. So he says that's all you need. Just that little faith. Faith as small as a mustard seed. That's all he asks. He's not even asking, for a swimming pool full of, well, the oceans of trust. If that is what you're giving him, that's amazing. But trust that he is able to do all these things. He's able to see you through every season. He's able to take you out of your old habits and put you into the new. He's able to say, you know what? I will take you from shame and I'll lift your name up. He's able to put you around people. He's able to have people speak your name while you're not there. He's able to, he's able to do all things. I can go on and on, but just to wrap this up, you need to let go of the past in order to make room for the new. So if you have any testimony where you had to give up something, relationship, friendship, work, whatever it may be, please DM us on Instagram. We are happy to hear your stories. We are happy to share your testimonies if you're willing to share it. Please do like, subscribe, and comment. And yeah, till next time, may God lead you. Ciao for now.